And as I creep in, oh, my pajama pants are showing. But yeah, so I was looking at some information. Shout out to Al Jazeera with some breaking news. They're trying to send food and medicine to people. Who would have known? You know, some human beings out here. And these boats and these ships, these convoys or these aid package from organizations trying to feed people are being intercepted by the IDF forces in Israel. Mind you, this is a humanitarian problem, one of the largest, with people not being able to eat. There's no longer weapons of mass destruction. There's weapons of humanitarian needs.
Okay, if you're just joining us, I just want to show you these pictures that have come through to Al Jazeera just in the last few minutes. The pictures you're seeing on the scene are of people on the Handela Freedom vessel. This is a boat that departed earlier this week from Italy. And the aim of the boat is to break Israel's siege on the Gaza Strip. So the boat was intending to make its way to Gaza and drop aid, much needed aid to the people in Gaza. So what has happened, we believe, in the last few minutes, these are not live pictures, but they have come through in the last few minutes, is the boat has now been intercepted.
Look like they got some old heads on there. Some old hippies.
By the Israeli military. It's difficult to tell exactly what is happening, but you can see there members of the Israeli military there on the boat. These are the pictures that have come through to us just in the last few minutes before the live feed.
Shit looks like a fucked up amusement park ride or something
That we had from the boat dropped out. So it seems the boat has now been intercepted by the Israeli military. So this is the Handela Freedom vessel, which departed earlier this week, heading towards Gaza. I'm not sure how closely it has managed to reach Gaza. It's unclear how far off it is, but it has now been intercepted. It was hoping to deliver much needed food and aid, including baby formula for those who are so desperately in need in Gaza. Now, there was a boat that was intercepted about a month ago, and it too was intercepted. It was carrying the activist Greta Thunberg. This was about a month ago. Let's go to our correspondent Hamda Salut, who is live in Amman. She has also been following the story and these pictures from Jordan's capital. That's because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel and in the occupied West Bank. So Hamda, you're looking at these pictures too that have come through to us in the last few minutes, just before the live feed.
Well, at least she's not saying I know they taught that in media communication. Instead of saying say it's better for the sound, I guess.
Shut down. We can see members of the Israeli army there who intercepted the boat. What more can you tell us about this vessel, the Handela Freedom vessel, and what it was trying to achieve, and how close it managed to make it to Gaza before it was indeed intercepted?
It's like a smushed cat. What's up with your part? Right there, she's stressing.
Well, Malene, the last sort of information we had from the boat before it lost contact.
Hamda be listening to Ice Spice.
And communication was that it was roughly a couple hundred miles from the coast of the Gaza Strip. They were trying to break Israel's blockade and deliver humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian people. Now, this is the second flotilla of its kind. Previously, just around 40 days ago, there was a similar boat, the Madlin, that was also seized by the Israeli army. Now, within the last hour, Israeli media reported that the Israeli Navy Navy was heading toward the ship, that there were 2 vessels that had circled and surrounded the Handala boat, and that there was an Israeli drone flying overhead before the Israeli Navy boarded the ship to intercept it. Now, what we learned from the last boat that was seized by Israeli forces was that it was redirected to the port of Ashdod, which is just north of the Gaza Strip.
We ain't gonna act like we ain't to see that IDF member almost bust his ass.
Everyone on board was then detained.
Oy vey.
Followed by deported back to whatever country that they have citizenship to. But the point of this boat, the point that the activists are trying to make, was that even though they know that getting seized and intercepted by Israeli forces is a threat, they're trying to make a statement internationally, both to their governments of the countries they were coming from, and also to the Israeli government, that the world is not going to sit by and watch while the Israeli government starves the people of Gaza and sends them into a humanitarian.
That's a powerful message right there. These little geriatrics done got up out of their bootstraps, put some food together, you know, maybe some ragu. I know it's from Italy, some noodles, you know what I'm saying? Maybe some frozen meatballs. I don't know. But it is a beautiful statement for them to try to do that. You know what I mean? A bunch of old geezers, you feel me? Probably ex-military, ex-government, ex-activists. You know what I'm saying? They put in that work, trying to do what's right.
Disaster, that there are people who are willing.
At least Italy doing something. Can't say much for you, Saudi Arabia. Fuck you doing, Faisal?
To do things that are maybe outside of the box to try and break the siege.
Jalaluddin and him. Whatever your names is.
That's what these activists have been saying the entire time they've been sailing. That's what the activists on the previous flotilla had also been saying. But Israeli forces and the government had been quite clear that they are not going to allow any sort of vessel to reach the shores of Gaza for what they called security reasons. But it's worth mentioning that the aid that has been going into Gaza.
Yeah, that would be a security reason. But even after them going through it, would they give the food and medicine to Gazans, even after going through everything? Just a question.
Gaza, or lack thereof, has not been enough to sustain the people for more than a year. Previously, in a ceasefire deal from January to March, we saw an influx of aid. However, it was still not enough given just how little had gone in throughout the war itself. So what these activists were hoping to do was break the siege and deliver baby formula, food, water, and other sort of supplies that the people of Gaza simply do not have.
And of course, Israel has been under huge international pressure because of what is happening in Gaza, the starvation, the children that the pictures of the children that we've been seeing in recent days across international newspapers. In the last few hours, the Israeli military has announced that it intends to begin airdropping.
No, he didn't. Smack down the camera.
More aid into Gaza. What more do we know about those plans?
All right, motherfuck shit done. Don't you? You probably gun button everyone, all them geriatrics, grannies too.
You know, we have been reporting for more than 6 months about the starvation that has been going on inside of Gaza. But now countries around the world are unable to deny it any further, given the images, the influx of images that have been coming out of children who are starving, of adults who are fainting and simply falling dead because they are dying of starvation and hunger, dehydration and malnutrition and other illnesses associated with that. So the pressure that has come onto the Israeli government internationally has been quite large, and it has been actually since the end of the ceasefire in March. And anytime there was more pressure on the Israelis, there was some.
Shout out to that band of courageous geezers that went out there and tried to do something. Pretty sure it was all for waste, as the hubris of Israelis are insufferable, the amounts of arrogance they have. Well, like I said before, you're either with God or you're not. someone if all this action, all this love was going on, there's a lot of places where you could probably send shit like this where it probably would be received. Okay. You could probably, maybe it could probably even get to Yemen, even how fucked up Yemen is. It probably could get there. Could probably get to South Sudan and Sudan, you know. The Congo could probably go there. You guys could go bunch up there together. Okay. Yep. Yep. Probably go down there. Haiti. You can go to Haiti. You know, you can do that. You know, maybe put together a couple soil samples. You know, I mean, I'm just saying shit like that where it could actually get put to places, and you know, doesn't have the world's strongest defense force bordering that nation. All right, thank you for coming through.